What's up? Sometimes some people to pile in on here. Cool deal. Got a bunch of announcements to go over. We got a lot of new sponsors. A lot of them still piling in right now, which has been crazy. All last minute stuff, which is cool. But we got some. Just want to go over some of those guys. What's up, Mr. Morris? And go over what we got going on this year. What's up, Mr. Greg? People piling in now. What else we got going on? Just gonna make sure everything's good. If you guys haven't signed up yet, if you're not a member, go over to Fishing Chaos and sign up. It's going to be good. So I got some announcements and a lot of things will be going through the mass messages too for details, especially for the last couple of things that came in today. So I'll touch on them a little bit, but you'll definitely want to be involved in that. What's up, Daniel? Oh man, what's up, Cody? Cody Barlow from Foothills. Got a big announcement with that coming up too. For sure. That's going to be fun. Wonder if Mitch is going to show up. I need Mitch in here too. Get my co-host in a little bit. Mr. Faircloth is probably taking a nap. Needs to wake up. What's up, Mr. Bill? Mr. Stephen Bell caught himself a big old pig. Saw that photo earlier today. What's up, Steve? Yeah, the sponsor list is getting crazy, and this is still got one spot open for a title. So if anyone's got a business and they want to pop in as a title sponsor, hit us up quick. That'll be gone soon, I'm guessing, but we're still working on getting some answers from a few people. So it's getting crazy. And Mr. Morris knows that. He's top left, Mr. Greensboro Gardens. So first of all, tonight I want to go over some of our main sponsors. This is our series that are supporting us for the year, not just for an event, not just for a couple things, but they're actually supporting us for the whole year, for the 10th season. And the first one obviously is Get Outdoors Pedal and Paddle. You guys know them. They've been with us for, I believe, the whole 10 years. So they're back on board again. They supported us big time last year with some great captain's meeting prizes, and as well as Angle of the Year, Rookie of the Year prizes, which that's all on the table again this year. So we're grateful for those guys. I got their shop behind me. I'm not in the shop today. This is just green screen, but we were there a couple weeks ago giving a seminar and meeting people, and we're going to do some more of those as well. So if you guys want to see certain types of seminars about kayak fishing, whether it's tournament related, just fishing in general, let us know, and we'll get some speakers down there at Get Outdoors to get you the information you need. Mr. Excuse me, Mr. Corey Dreyer was talking about it, so he might be doing one soon if he can free up his schedule a little bit. He's a busy guy, and I'm sure Hank would love to do another one. I may try to do one. I'm terrible at public speaking, but I'm willing to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. But so Get Outdoors, big sponsor for the year. Excited to have them back. Next one, I just did it again. You guys are going to be getting drunk if you're doing a drinking game about me clicking and stuff. So I'm going to try not to do it today. Sunshine Realty Property Management hopped on board. They're supporting us for the season, helping us do what we're planning to do, which I'll talk about in a little bit. They're based out of Burlington, and talk a little bit more about those guys. You saw the post earlier. They'll be on board for some events too. Dakota Lithium Batteries, of course. Stormy's always supported us and appreciate that, and he's been a big part of what we did last year, and this year he stepped it up even bigger. So we'll still be having giveaways, and he's gone beyond that too. So he's a big part of what we got going on for 2023, or Dakota Lithium is. We'll be giving away I believe a 23 amp hour battery and a power box at every single event this year. Those will be most likely product giveaways where we everyone who shows up to the headquarters at the end of the day and watches the awards will be giving out those prizes. So grateful to have them back, bigger than ever. The next one, Faircloth chimney sweeps and wildlife removal, back on board again for this year. Appreciate Brad and Justin stepping up again. They'll be titling an event. We'll show that soon. Greensboro Gardens, Mr. Rick Morris, he's on board again this year, and he'll be sponsoring an event. So appreciate him as usual. Miller Shed Hauling's a new one. Rob Miller jumped on board this year, so we appreciate him for stepping up and helping out, and he's sponsoring an event. Site Roofing and General Contractors is a new one. They'll be sponsoring one of our events, or one of our big events that we're going to be doing something a little interesting this year. We'll get more into that in a minute. Straight Up Mounts has kicked in for their $500 prize for the 2023 Big Bass. This year, we're not even going to have anybody needing to buy into them. It's going to be the Big Bass period of the year. So Straight Up Mounts supported that, and we appreciate that. Excuse me. Of course, Denny's on board on Water Innovations. He's got a couple prizes for us, and if you're a CKA member, you can get $100 off a trailer with Denny. If you just need to be a CKA member, and he'll take that off whatever trailer you decide to buy. And he'll be doing a couple prizes during the year as well that we'll announce when the time comes. Another new one. Mr. Robert Ebert from Pincushion Tattoo has jumped on board. He's going to be giving out some big certificates at every event, and he's going to have some other prizes too. He's going to throw in once in a while, so keep on lookout for that. We appreciate Robert Ebert jumping on board, helping out. Y'all know I got a tattoo from him that I won from the Central Carolina Kayak Fishing Group. So he's excellent, did a great job, and I've seen his work, and his work's awesome. I can't wait to go get another one. So look him up. He's out of Greensboro. Solar Bat Sunglasses back on board again. Second place will get a free pair of sunglasses, as we've been doing the last couple of years. Third place will get a 50% off any pair of sunglasses you want certificates. So glad to have them back on board. Rod Shop with Mr. Chris Linville back on board again this year. He's going to have another 3 rods to give away. We'll have a raffle on 1 rod, and some other prizes to go with that, as well as Angle of the Year and Rookie of the Year will get a rod as well. And I had some fun with one of his rods down in Florida. Actually, we were one of the lakes we were on. I got caught up in some grass and slowed down, and the hydrilla was really thick, so I grabbed the rod I have with the frog on it. It happened to be a Rod Shop rod, and I had some fun with that. That was great, and handled that perfectly. Great rod. Carver Covers, again, with coming back on board. They've been on board with us for a while now. They'll be giving a kayak cover to every winner this year. So every winner from the main events, and I believe the Tournament of Champions as well, will be getting a free Carver kayak cover by Covercraft. Definitely look them up, but if you don't have one, go get one. If you do have one, do me a favor, take a photo of your kayak with your cover on it, and post it on the Carolina Kayak Anglers group page. Make sure you tag Carver on that. They'd appreciate it. They love seeing their products out in the social media stuff. So take care of that. Red Oak was a new one. We had a good relationship last year with Red Oak with a event we did over at Macintosh, and we talked to them, and they're going to be doing some stuff. So we're going to have some giveaway stuff from Red Oak, thanks to the Lager House over there. If you haven't been there yet, go there. The place is awesome. It's a great atmosphere, really good stuff, and of course, the Red Oak's the best beer in North Carolina. So check them out for sure. And we'll be meeting there on after the one of the events as well. Of course, we got more coming as people keep calling, people emailing. There are a few things I'm going to touch quickly on, but I'm going to give more information probably this week, so you guys have the exact info to go on, because I'll probably screw it up because there's so many details I got to go over to cover all this stuff. So one of them is Missile Baits. We have a 20% off deal with them for CKA anglers. I'll be releasing that code real soon. We also have a new deal with Bagley Baits that just happened today. Talking to those guys, Charlie down there, he going to hook us up. It's going to be a $200 Angler of the Year package that he's going to give if you have a sticker on your boat or on your truck. I gave him the list of anglers. He said he's sending me a whole bunch of stickers. So I'll have those to give to all of y'all. So get on that, and he's gonna have a nice 30% discount as well. So great deal with them. Kayak Cushion just jumped on board as well. They're going to they have a code that we're gonna get out to you guys. So I believe it's 15% off, and for every 10 you guys buy, we're gonna have one to give away. So if you guys are looking to make your day of fishing more comfortable, definitely check out Kayak Cushion. It seems like a expensive little piece to sit on, but when you sit on it, you know it's worth it. So everyone who's purchased one and sat on one, it's worth the money. And the quality products, they last a long time, and they work with both pedal and paddle kayaks. They're great, good stuff. Especially folks with bad backs, they got lumbar support. He's got all kinds of stuff. So definitely check those guys out. So it's we have some more stuff out there as well. We're still working on things, and it never stops. Just when we think we've hit our max, it turns into some more stuff. So it's all good. We're having fun with it. It makes my life a little chaotic, but it's all right. So let me pull this down. But all right, let's go into the season. What's going on? All right. You guys can see that, right? All right. Good deal. You see the payouts this year, they've jumped up quite a bit. And that is mainly due to that CKA is going to be covering the credit card fees. There's going to be no tournament holdback for the Tournament of Champions. There's no application app fee that we have to pay. That's all done ahead of time. If you're a member, you don't have to worry about it all year. And if you're in the monthlies and fishing our events, it definitely pays for itself real quick. Plus, they give you gift certificates that pretty much cover the cost of the membership. So definitely worth being a Fishing Chaos member. And that helps all of this stuff work. So we don't have to worry about taking your $60 and then taking a large chunk of it and throwing it to all over the place. And we just take that money and it's going to come right back to you at the end of the tournament. So the anglers going to have really good payouts. You can see the what's going on there. If we get 100 people, we'll get talking $2,000 every event if we hit that number. I'm guessing we're going to be up there more this year than we were last year. Last year was a little tough, but I think this year with the program we got going on, we're going to see a lot more numbers and a lot more people fishing. And being a local nonprofit club, we're looking forward to making it worth you guys. I think it's the best ROI in the circuit. So if you got any questions on that, just let me know, and we'll take care of it. So the first event, get into that. This didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Oh well. All right. Lake Norman, think this is Sunshine Realty sponsoring this event. It's going to allow that 100% payout that I talked about, and we will have, like I said, giveaways from Carver Covers by Covercraft, Solar Bat, Red Oak, Yak Attack, and Pincushion, and probably some more by the time we get there. I wouldn't be surprised. And let's see. See if I can do this another way. There we go. All right. Mike Gaston will be the next stop. This is going to be brought to you by Greensboro Gardens and Mr. Rick Morris. This should be a good one. This is the first time we've ever been to Lake Gaston, so it's going to be pretty interesting. I've heard some great things about Gaston. I'm looking forward to getting over there and checking it out myself. That should be a good event. That gives us probably as far as we're going to go east as far as the regular season is concerned. Next event will be Lake Hickory, and we're going to work with working with Foothills Kayak Anglers and with Cody Barlow and with Mitch from Central Carolina Kayak Fishing to bring this one to you. And we're going to do something a little different this time. We're actually we're going to make this a big event, a big payout event. It's probably going to draw some people from outside of North Carolina to come down and try to compete for it. But we're doing It's going to be $100 entry fee for this event. It's going to be a points event for Carolina kayak anglers. Foothills will participate. Cody's going to do a lot of the work in the background, helping us out. He'll be based out of Outdoor Supply in Hickory, working to do the judging and doing some other things. And I'll have him on soon. We'll talk about that in more detail when we get more of the details ironed out. But $100 entry fee sounds like a lot, but you'll take a peek at this. You can see why we're doing it. We want to have a nice big payout event. May is actually probably the lightest month for some reason in North Carolina for fishing tournaments. So I think this is going to line up pretty nicely for everybody. And for $100 payout, it's all 100% payout for this one, just like the other ones. There's no holdback. There's no extra fees or anything. So we're able to take that and put it directly to payouts. And you can see that reflected in the numbers here. So with only 100, which we're probably thinking we're going to go well over 100. With 100, we got a $3,500 for first place. That's pretty huge for this area, and I think we're going to get a great turnout with it. And a lot of people, they don't want to drive a lot, but I think having this event where we're in Norman, then to Gaston, then we're going to be heading back over to Hickory. This is a good super ROI event that makes it worth it. Sure, a little bit of travel for some guys to get out there. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm looking forward to some feedback on it. If anyone's got feedback, let me know. Talk to me. We're going to keep building it up and marketing it out there to everybody. So I'm looking forward to that one. The next one is Randleman Reservoir, brought to you by, oops, I missed one thing, didn't I? Yeah, SIPE is covering this one. Sorry about that. SIPE just came on board. Thank you to them. They handle roofing and general contracting. So if you need any quality roofing work done, get a hold of SIPE. We'll have some more information on that as we go. I think you saw the post as well for that one. It went out, I believe, yesterday. So Randleman. We haven't been Randleman. We skipped Randleman last year because Randleman seems like it got beat up for a few years. So we decided to take a break from it. And we didn't fish in the Gate City Classic either. So that's back on the schedule this year. And I think it's going to be really good for June. I think June's a good time to fish it. So thanks to Miller Shed Haulers, Rob Miller stepped up and he's handling this event to help with that payout, keep those numbers up. So this one should be a great event. Looking forward to that for sure. And we head back to Tuckertown, which is a great trail. It's great water down there. Yadkin River Crappie Trail is actually supporting this one. They great group of guys down there. They got a really great trail. It's worth checking those guys out if you're into crappie fishing. You want to get into some competitive stuff. Those are the guys to definitely go check out. This one's pretty good because Tuckertown is actually our event that had the most 20-inch fish, I believe, put into. At the time, it was Tourney X. So for our events, and Norman was probably one of the highest draws. Tuckertown was probably the best producing lake as far as quality fish in one tournament. So it was, a lot of people, I think 20 people had a 20-inch fish or something. It was crazy. It was a really fun event. So we're looking forward to getting back down there in July. Next one is Lake McIntosh in July. What did I say? June? It's supposed to be June. Whoops, that's actually wrong. It's supposed to be June 24th. I have to change that date. I believe, or is this one wrong? One of these is wrong. This one's wrong, actually. I'll have to fix this graphic. Lake McIntosh, we will, I think that's going to be August. Let me double check. Yeah, got those backwards actually. Yeah. McIntosh July 22nd. Tuckertown would be August 12th. So that's why I got to check my work. That's why I keep Henry around. He usually catches this stuff. I haven't given him this stuff yet, so he hasn't scolded me. So Lake McIntosh July 22nd. Faircloth going to support that one. We'll also be working with Red Oak because we'll be meeting over at Red Oak for some beers for sure. Be a great place. We'll get some great photos. It'll be a good time. Looking forward to that one. We had McIntosh. We actually didn't fish in the Gate City Classic last year. But speaking of that, Gate City Classic. Get Outdoors, of course, sponsoring this one is where we'll meet up for sure. And we really appreciate Will's support. He's been on big support for the club since its beginning. And Gate City Classic is always something that people look forward to. And we're going to put, I know people complained last year a little bit, but McIntosh and Randleman are back on Gate City Classic. So we will have all the lakes that we normally do for the Gate City Classic. I threw a challenge out there last year, made people check out the other lakes, and it was tough. But there's some big fish will put up from those other lakes. So they get overlooked a lot, but I think people need to fish those a little bit more, and encourage you to do that for sure. So that'll be fun. Gate City Classic is also where we'll be doing a lot of awards for the end of the year. We'll be doing the Angler of the Year, Rookie of the Year. This year we're throwing in Sportsman of the Year. We'll have the 2023 Big Bass Award. We'll figure out who's qualified for the Tournament of Champions. And it should be pretty good. And Sharon Harris, we're still waiting for a title sponsor to get back to us on that one, but that's maybe back in March 25th. Had that one on the back because I was hoping that would I get that answer, but I'm sure it'll be in soon. So not too concerned about that. But Sharon Harris in March should be a good time. Those fish should be fired up, especially with this seemingly warm winter. I think we're going to have a fun March tournament at Sharon Harris. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we are on the kiosk there. If you go to the boat ramps, you'll see kayak Carolina kayak anglers on the kiosk helping the habitat project there with North Carolina Wildlife, which that's about to fire up again. We'll be having a meeting. I'll be in the meeting. I believe they're going to do it. I think it's later in a couple weeks. We're going to fire up the meetings again to work on that habitat project and get some updates and what's going on with the lake. So it should be pretty interesting. So there you go. That's a brief overview of all that fun stuff. Hey, Justin, showed up finally. It's all right. It's all good. Yeah, the smaller lakes are fun, Christopher. Chris Decker did a recent podcast with, I believe, Mr. Hank Vajon, going over some rule changes for the year and what's going on in the clubs. So definitely looking forward to listening to that one. He had a great one with Mark Lind from Queen City last week or a week or two ago, and it's great stuff. I love listening to these guys, the local guys talking. It's great to get to know a little bit more about them and get some of their tips and tricks. Definitely comes in handy for sure. All right, next thing. Which I don't know if I can do from here. Maybe I can. All right, so if you guys haven't been over to the site yet, definitely hang out there. There's a lot of info. We put a lot of details up in there. You can find out a lot of what we're doing, what the rule changes are, what's going on with stuff like KBF and Fish USA sponsoring our 20 for 23 series. Overview of the whole seasons there. This is our 10th season. We're pretty proud of that. Longest running club in North Carolina. And we have some rule updates. So if you go into tournaments, you can find just about everything you need under the tournaments tab. If you want to get some information, everything's there, including the new rules, which we just voted on and worked out a bit. When did we do that? Sunday? I believe it was Sunday over at Red Oak. I think, it's a lot easier having meetings when you have a place to go that has good beer. So we get a lot done. We were there for a couple hours figuring this all out, making sure it was kind of what we want. So there's a few new things going on, but if you look over the rules, you'll see it's a lot of basically our same rules, but some things that note that we updated. Tournament of Champions eligibility. There's always somebody who hasn't signed up as a member and wins, and every champion of every event is qualified generally for the Tournament of Champions, but you got to be a member. And we want the Tournament of Champions to include all the champions. So one of the compromises we decided to come up with was if the angler is not a member at the time they win, they can pay a CKA membership fee plus a penalty, which is going to be $100. Instead of the 40, it'll be 100. That'll cover a little penalty for not supporting the club in the first place, like you should have. So that'll be an option. So if you win and you're not a member, and you want to, kick $100 out of the entry fee, or you want to just pay $100, as long as it's paid before the end of the Gate City Classic Awards, and when we announce all the TOC qualifiers, then we'll let you in. You can fish it. The whole point of the Tournament of Champions is fishing the best guys in the club, fishing all against each other to find out who can come out on top. So I think that's a fair compromise for sure. And when you do sign up, if you sign up for a membership and you do it at the end of the event, you're not going to get points for that event. So make sure you sign up well in advance of these events, because that helps us do things like we're doing with Bagley and these other people when they ask us for our roster and we show them, I believe we had like 87 or 88 members to give them a list for that does stuff. So, it helps us out, and that comes back and it helps you. So don't overlook that. Plus, you're going to get the discounts, like 10% from Get Outdoors. Nothing to shake a stick at there. That'll add up quick. That adds up quick when we're out buying fishing gear. You can easily pay for your club membership by getting a nice paddle and PFD. Speaking of PFDs, actually, I don't want to get to that yet. Let's see. We'll get to that in just a minute. Excuse me. One thing I just want to touch on, this is the same as it was last year, but I just wanted to remind people that we will refund your money if you can't fish an event that you signed up for ahead of time. Not a big deal, but there are fees that happen from the transaction that we cover for the events that we're talking about that we won't refund. So, if it costs us $5 for the transfer money or whatever, that'll be deducted when we refund your money. So just be aware of that. It's not a big deal. It's probably only going to be $3 or $4, something like that. I did include the KBF fish graphic on the rules because this is always an issue with new anglers to the club. So trying to make it as easy as possible. If you're new, definitely look at the KBF rules completely, and then look at what we have to add to it. We have just slight changes from KBF rules. So definitely new anglers need to pay attention to this. And it says no touch zone here. I asked Chad to actually to clarify this because it's kind of confusing. Where is just the red no touch, or is this area no touch? So I asked him to clarify that, and when he does, we'll update things to make sure it's clear. When you've had a few denies because people's thumbs and stuff have blocked this area near the fin, if I can't tell for sure that that's not visible, and behind the caudal peduncle, we'll have to deny it. It's just the way it is. And with the gill, you can't have your finger or hand inside the gill plate. It could be over the gill plate holding it shut, but it can't be inside the gill plate. So best thing to do is to keep your hand where it shows on here. If you have the ability to pull your hand off. And we're also, recommend that you, which I believe is down here too, eventually, sorry, I just got distracted on something. What was I saying? Oh, the video release. So if you have, you should do it with every fish just to be sure, because you never know when something's going to come up, if someone's going to challenge something. But if you have a fish that's questionable, maybe the eye looks a little terrible, or it looks sick, it's pale, looks like maybe someone could accuse you of pulling it out of a basket. It's really good to have that video release and make sure that fish swims off, and you don't get accused or for cheating, or if you just to get the fish not to be denied. So it's good to have those releases. It came in handy at the Florida event this last month, and without that video release and stuff, some things wouldn't have got cleared up as quick as they got cleared up there. So definitely good to do it. It's good insurance for yourself. It's not required, but anything you can do for extra insurance is good. So pre-fishing is a slight change with pre-fishing rules. It's going to be, we normally were 6 o'clock for a cutoff. We changed that to 4 to matches KBF. So it's, so there's no confusion there. And 4 p.m. means off the water. It doesn't mean stop fishing. It means off the water, because pre-fishing isn't just casting. So, so by 4 p.m. your kayak should be off the water, done, and you should be heading off. So definitely pay attention to that. I get that question a lot. So usually every Friday before a tournament, I get asked when pre-fishing ends, and there you go, it's in there. Watch and read the rules. I'm going to probably do another video similar to this, going over the rules, and we'll use that as a basic captain's meeting that'll for new people. So um, try to make sure people have some resources to eliminate some of the mistakes, because there's always mistakes at the first tournament. People are excited, never fished these before, and they get hung up on a couple little details that we require. So competition period, when we say that, we're talking about lines in, the lines out time. Whether you're fishing or not, you got to follow all these rules, and that's the way it goes. The only other off limits item is we will be, because we're going to do a blind draw for Tournament of Champions again this year. And so Tournament of Champions location is going to be off limits, no pre-fishing from the time we draw it at the end of the Gate City Classic until the tournament day. So with that said, I mean, it's going to be, this year we're going to do it the next week. So we're going to draw the Tournament of Champions at the Gate City Classic when that's all over, and we figure out who's going to the TOC. And then from there, when we draw that name, that's it. So it could be one of the lakes right on the in the GCC that we fish. So, but after that'll be it. There'll be no more fishing for that if you're in the event. PFD is pretty much the same. I put that in there just to make sure people see it instead of sometimes you get lost in the KBF rules, but it's in there anyway. Just so if you just breeze through our rules, I want to make sure people understand these. So I put it as simple as I could put it. Same deal with the belt style, not allowed. And I also wanted to make a mention, just because I've been looking into inflatables recently, that sorry, just got email. I've been looking into it, and I've been using the inflatable for the first time this year. I tried it out in Florida. And there's some benefits to it for sure. But at the same time, when I was looking at them, the only reason I wear a PFD is for safety. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm a good swimmer. I'm not concerned about that. So the only reason I need a PFD is if something happens and I can't swim, if I'm knocked out, I'm having a stroke, God forbid, or whatever. So it's not against the rules, but I'd recommend against wearing a manual only PFD. So that's just my stand on it. I wanted to put it in there. I think most people would agree that, at least get an automatic, be safe, get home to your family, no matter what happens. And, that's the whole plan. And that's the whole reason for the whole PFD deal. So, and if you see someone not wearing a PFD before you DQ them, just, Chad's mentioned this before, just mention it. Just tell them put the PFD on. They probably just forgot. And there's no need to have somebody disqualified. Just more important to make sure they're safe and they get back to the ramp at the end of the day. So check in and check out. I did find the reason why the checkout thing wasn't working, so I believe I got that addressed this time. Hopefully it doesn't drive everybody crazy again this year. It's basically my fault for not understanding what Fishing Chaos guys told me. But so if you see it where it says tournament end 5 o'clock or something, that's to make sure that this works. It's not lines out. That's just part of the software. The lines in and lines out is in the description, and that's what you go by. But in order for that to work, we have to make sure that tournament end date time is pushed out a little bit so it doesn't shut off. When you're changing ramps, like before, check out when you get back to your original launch. Check back in again when you leave the next launch area, and just to make sure we know where you are and what's going on in case you show up missing. We know where to go look for you. It's just a safety issue. Check-in is required at headquarters this year, so this is a big one. I know we've been we kind of stopped doing that because of COVID, but there's no reason to do that anymore. So we need you. We want everyone to support everyone, even if you had a bad day. It's good to come support the guys who didn't, and it's also good to come by and hopefully we have a lot of these sponsors at the events, and it's good for you to show up and show some support there too. So you don't have to stay if you want to go home. If you're tired, you're beat, you just can't can't hang out, that's no big deal. You can just sign in and off you go and you get your points. But if you don't sign in, no points. That's the way it's going to be. And, it's important for the how we're doing the events going forward. So definitely keep that in mind when you're having a bad day and you want to take off early and go home. You're not going to get points. So make sure you get that in mind. Of course, emergencies pop up, and it's going to have to be a serious emergency, and we're going to be it'll be voted on by all the directors whether to accept the excuse or not. Because your wife's mad at you and you got to go home, not a good excuse. So, but things in life do happen, and we're not dictators, ridiculous. So we will consider as case by case basis. Communication, that's a new one. I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but the major trails have made major modifications as far as communications go. I believe Bassmaster Kayak Series already had it. It looks like, I believe Hobie adopted the similar, and KBF also threw it in there. So what we're going to allow is a little different than KBF, but if your communication with anglers verbally is allowed for anglers sharing the same water, and conversations aren't restricted in that scenario. So what that means is if you're fishing in the same little pocket as somebody and you guys are talking and someone mentions they caught it on a Senko, like, so what? Who cares? We're not gonna bar that kind of stuff. A lot of guys fish together and hang out and make a good day of it. We're a local club still, we're a grassroots club. We're not going crazy with that. So definitely not restricting that like some of the other major events are. However, we are going to take the electronic communications as KBF has put in their standard. So, although it's okay if you're sitting across the cove from somebody to communicate, which you kind of have to do anyway to let see who's going to fish where and stay off each other's spots. There's no texting and calling people and saying, hey, I'm catching him on a Senko, or I'm catching him on a, whatever. So that's something to keep in mind and pay attention to for this year. I don't think too many people do, but I know occasionally I've done that before, and generally it's all innocent and not really getting a competitive advantage, just chatting with friends. So it's going to be a little bit getting used to, but it's required. I think it's necessary to keep the field, keep it fair for the new guys coming into the field that don't have Corey Dreyer as friend that they can call and get information from. So you're going to keep throwing Corey under the bus all day, I think. Measuring boards are the same, as long as it's a catch board, plastic or metal. If you don't know why we do that, Catcher is the only one who puts the measurements on after the process is complete, and they are accurate 100%. So other plastic measuring boards that the measurements built into the plastic, they're not accurate. So all it takes is a little humidity or heat difference in the curing process, and your measuring board is off. So, and they're junk and they bend and whatever. Carbonate is pretty solid. It's not bad. It does bend a little bit if you really pushed it, but if we do see someone bending a board, it's definitely not against the rules. So just keep that in mind. Disputes, that's pretty much the same. If you got a dispute with somebody, we don't go to social media and blast it. You just try to get photos. If you can get photos, try to get good information. Talk to the person if it's necessary to get the information. We hear things a lot, but I saw some guy, he might have been fishing before lines in, which we don't have that anymore. But if I don't know who it is, there's not much I could do about it. So if you don't have a photo or you don't know who it is, then there's not much we can do about it. But definitely without any kind of infraction disputes, whatever, and you definitely get videos, photos, whatever you can get, just so we can be sure. I mean, it's hard to prove these things otherwise. So, and as far as that goes, disputes as far as fish go, you can challenge fish, and other people can challenge fish. So it's always a good idea to keep do a video release. That's in here, to do a video release in order to provide evidence of a fish that may seem unhealthy, otherwise questionable. So this protects you. This is not required, but it's encouraged. So if you haven't done a video release before, it's pretty simple. I'm going to try to get some videos and share that. I believe Jody, Corey, and Casey all went over that when they first came out with it. It seemed like a big deal, and everyone thinks it's a big deal until they do it and they realize it takes like a couple seconds and it's not a big deal. So, public comments, that hasn't changed any, but for new folks, bashing organizations we don't allow. We don't allow it on our pages, and we don't allow it um, in general. So if you're bashing CKA or KBF or other people, and we find it's egregious, then we're going to we reserve the right to just DQ from future events. It's that simple. We work very hard to keep everything positive. We're trying to promote the sport, trying to promote conservation, trying to introduce bass fishing to young folks, trying to do all these things, and we can't do it without the help of sponsors, and we can't do it without looking professional and being with good attitudes. So, um, everything we do is voluntary for the TDs. We don't get paid for this. We're nonprofit, like I've mentioned. This is all work done voluntarily by. We have right now is a total of 4 directors: myself, Justin Faircloth, Hank Vajon, Brian Fell, and Corey Dreyer, always in the background to help us out when needed with some advice and whatnot, because he was one of the founders, and we like to keep him involved. So none of us take a pay for this. So, and we always need help. So if you wanted to volunteer when we're setting up the end of the day, whatever you want to help out, we'll take it. We'll take any help. So it's good. It's good to step up if you can. We appreciate it. And with all this stuff, it's not our responsibility to babysit everybody. It's your responsibility to make sure you know these rules and understand these rules. And if you don't, you have any questions, there's numerous ways to contact us. So just do that and get it cleared up for sure. But before you do contact us, please read our rules, read KBF's rules, and then if you still have a question and it's not answered, then hit us up and we'll be more than happy to clear it up for you. And sometimes it even helps because maybe we didn't make it clear enough and we need to adjust something. So that's how it works. So boom. That's pretty much the major announcements for the year so far. So the first event will be Norman. If you haven't signed up, go sign up. Let's get the word out on that. If you've seen the sponsor posts, make sure you like, share, go to their pages, follow them. If you know anybody looking for services that some of these guys provide, make sure you let your friends know and help them out. Helps us out. It helps you out. So nice little circle of great people. It works out great. Oh, I did it again. It's another drink for somebody because I did the whole clicking thing. Let's see. Yeah, nice to see you back, Nick. We should be a good year. It'll be a fun year. yeah. I'm sure you would have appreciated that last year, Chris. Good deal. Any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to bounce in a minute here. I think I covered just about everything. I'm done. I'm excited for the year. I think it's going to be a good time. Yeah, if you're late to launch, you're fine. You just do the normal check-in procedure and off you go. No big deal. You want to sleep in, sleep in. We're not going to hold that against you. But yeah, the only mandatory part is checking out and making sure you sign in the at the headquarters. That we'll have headquarters for every event listed. We've got some pretty good ones so far. We'll be at believe it was the spot of Carolina Tackle Company. I don't think the tackle company will be there anymore. Sadly, sounds like he wants to go fishing more, so it may just be in the parking lot of the previous Carolina Tackle at Lake Norman. So if you never went to that store had some really cool stuff. It's sad that that might not be there anymore. It's a bummer. And I know haven't decided on Harris yet. Probably be the park, or it'll be at. I'm trying to contact a couple. We have one sponsor that we might be getting on board with that we may meet at, or maybe another brewery gets involved. I don't know. We'll see. Gaston, if you guys, anyone's got any information on, for Gaston, I've never been there. I don't think any of the TDs have been there. So any help with getting the ramp list together would be helpful. We're also it's going to be ramp list mandatory this year too. I probably should have put that in there. I'll have to add that, but we will be doing ramp lists. And if you're the ramp where you want to launch isn't on that list, you need to get a hold of us at least before, I guess I'd probably say 2 weeks before time, to get us to add it if it's a public launch that we missed. I believe I got them all for Norman already, and Harris, obviously, it's like 3, so that's easy. But Gaston will be a tough one for sure. So haven't been there before. I think the only other hard one might be the Hickory one. I'll probably have to lean on Cody a little bit. I know he lives in that area. We fished Hickory itself a couple times, but if we go over 100 anglers, we're going to add Rotus and Lookout. If that's the case, I don't know those ramps at all. So, oh, cool. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, if you can hook that up. I'm building the new thing. Apparently, everyone wants to do is they're building the maps in Google. So I did build a Google map for the ramps for Norman, and I will do that for all the ramps, for all the lakes, and be a nice resource later on for everybody too. We'll get those listed up on CarolinaKayakAnglers.com so people can refer back, even if we're not fishing there. You'll just have a nice little resource to go get ramps. And that'll work. Cool deal. I think if I missed anything. Oh, we will be doing a couple down on the coast. We're trying to work out some details on some new stuff with that. So, doing the Noosh River that we wanted to do last year, we'll do a non-points event for that. I got to talk to a couple places down there, and then I think I'm going to do Sutton. I keep seeing these boys, Daniel and a couple other ones, putting up some nice fish from Sutton. So, kind of wanting to go there now. So we might have to do an event over there. And then, if you don't know, we got, I believe, CCKF is going to be at Tar River, and then we're going to be at Gaston. So the East Coast got a decent amount of people. I mean, a decent amount of events they can get to. Maybe we got another one. We'll see. We got a lot going on, so I'm not sure how many we can do, but definitely give it a try. See what we can do for sure. So if that's all anyone's got for questions, we'll wrap this thing up and get this year going. And make sure to follow, like, share, whatever. All these sponsors are all awesome. They're all great people. We'll try to get each sponsor on live. Maybe we'll start next week with getting one of these sponsors on live. Maybe we'll start with Justin. Make Justin do some live, explain what he does. He wrestles with bats and snakes. So we'll be doing that for all these guys, try to get them some exposure and try to get you guys, you can ask any questions you want to ask and get them some good coverage. So with that said, let's go. And check out those pays. Those I'll post those payment deals. What do you call it? Payout chart. Sorry. I forgot what they're called all of a sudden. I'll post those up soon, and we'll get the word out. Let's build this thing up and have a good year. Talk to y'all later.